Okay, am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can someone please confirm that whether I'm audible to online student or not?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Hello. So, Jaideep, am I not audible? Hello.
Yes, sir,
Hello?
you're audible. You're audible, sir.
हेलो तो वॉइस जा रही है हेलो am I audible to everyone? इसमें से दिव्यांश जयदीप can you please confirm if I am audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
देखो जयदीप बोलने की कोशिश कर रहा है बट उसकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है यहाँ पे स्पीकर में
Zebronics for life.
ओके ठीक है अब चलो आप कंफर्म हो गया वहां पे एक रिप्लाई आया है यस ठीक है ओके so hello everyone as you know that every Saturday we came up with current affairs of the last week so today also with the same practice I am here to cover up the important news which have been or which happened last week. If you look into the last week scenario, only one major news which we can see, that is Israel-Palestine conflict. Apart from that, other news is also there, but one which we can say that it is very important, can ask in international relation or can ask in the exam. So that is Israel-Palestine conflict. Okay, and it is going to impact complete world, not only Israel and Palestine, only two nations, because you know that when Russia and Ukraine is fighting, it also impacted the whole world. So similarly, in this also there is a you can say it will impact the world. So that's why it's a very important news. Other news which we are going to cover, you can see the list of those news which we are going to cover today. That is CTBT regarding money bill. What is money bill? How many type of bill there are in parliament? Those who have already studied polity, they may be aware that there are how many type of bill that is in parliament. Those who are not aware, for them I will just brief because you will read in detail in class polity. If we talk about consumer price index, India is registering higher consumer price index, which we are not expecting. Then Digital India Act, again act to provide or to strengthen our digital security. You know that right to privacy and other fundamental speech are there, so that is related to Digital India Act. And if we talk, the last is country cyber landscape. So these are the main important news that we are going to cover today. So let's start with Israel-Palestine conflict. Before we go to the visual side, that is the slide which have been prepared, and just to show you that on those slides, I'll brief you a very basic and in simple term what is Israel-Palestine conflict is all about. So in next 10 to 11 point, I'm just going to explain very basic and terms for you so that you can know about this. So it is Israel-Palestine conflict. So question always arise when it started, how it got started, and what is the region that it is not getting resolved. So let's start with a region, or you can say a term, or you can say at a place that is called Jerusalem. So the cause of the problem is this place. Okay, I'm not saying that this place is the one who is causing all obstruction, but this place, the name itself, Jerusalem. So it is important or holy place for both Muslim and Christian. So this is the problem. Holy place for both Muslim and Christian. In the Muslim holy book, it is written that Prophet Muhammad has, you can say, he went to the heaven through this Jerusalem only. So that's why it has become important after Makkah and Medina. So Muslim rate high, Muslim rate this place as high. After Makkah, this is the important or holy place for Muslim people. Now coming to the, if we talk about Christian, you might be aware about Jesus Christ, or you can say Isa Masih, and you know that Jerusalem was the place where he has lived there from life to death. So many work he has done in Jerusalem. So that's why this is important for both Muslim and Christian. So that's why Arab nation is advocating Jerusalem for Palestine. So Arab nation is supporting and advocating that Jerusalem should be in control of Palestine, whereas all those Christian nations, you can say USA, UK, as it is important place for them also, they are advocating that Jerusalem should be in control of Israel. So the major issue is this only. This place, Jerusalem, is the, you can say, in talk, center of talk. So it started with this place, Jerusalem, that who will control the Jerusalem, whether it will be controlled by the Palestine or it will be controlled by the Israel. तो क्वेश्चन बस इतना सा है कि जेरूसलम किसके द्वारा जो है नियंत्रित किया जाएगा, इजराइल या पैलेस्टीन. सीधी सी बात है, मुस्लिम और क्रिश्चियन दोनों कम्युनिटी के लिए ये एक होली प्लेस है, तो दोनों में से कोई भी इस पे अपना कब्जा छोड़ना नहीं चाहता या इस प्लेस में रहना चाहता है. हाउ इट गॉट स्टार्टेड इनिशियली, सो लेट्स लर्न समथिंग कि कैसे स्टार्ट हुआ था शुरू में. मेजॉरिटी पोर्शन ऑफ दिस was under the population of Palestine in the beginning. I hope you might have seen that viral map which is going on in social media, that how slowly and slowly Israel captured the complete area. I'll also show you that map, but before that let me explain something. Okay, so what has happened, it started with early 19th century. You can say in 1970 or something like that. Early 19th century, this Jewish people as an refugee, or you can say as an immigrant, they started started settling themselves. They started settling themselves in those area of that Palestine. Map is something look like this type of map. It is something this. So this is how a map look like. Okay. Now if you see that complete area earlier was under Palestine, but now if we in the current map, if we look like current map only, this portion is of West Bank, a place named West Bank. You should have little bit knowledge of map also, and a little portion here, the main point that is news is that is called Gaza Strip. So these are the only two places which is, you can say now, right now, somewhat in control of Palestine. So how it started? A Jewish, you can say Jewish immigrant or resident of, you can right now resident of Israel, started as an immigrant, settling immigrant in this Palestine area. Slowly, they started, their population started increasing. Okay, it is same like if you hope, I hope you remember when Parliament has introduced Citizenship Amendment Act 2019. I'm just relating a topic. Those who have understood polity, they can understood better. Though Citizenship Amendment Act 2019 was introduced in India, Assam people had started protesting violently. असम के लोग बहुत ज्यादा प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे थे, बाकी कंट्री के बाकी पॉइंट के लोग नहीं कर रहे थे. व्हाई? बिकॉज असम वाज सेइंग दैट कि पहले ही बांग्लादेशी को जो है यहाँ की नागरिकता दी गई है और वो सब असम में ही सेटल हुए हैं. So I don't want that more and more Bangladeshi people should settle in Assam, whether it is based on any specific religion or caste, that does not matter for the Assam people. For them, that we have signed an Assam Accord with the government, and we do not want Bangladeshi people to settle in Assam. So that's what, just to make you a reference, that how in Assam also so many Bangladeshi people settled. That's why when Citizenship Amendment Act was introduced, Assam was opposing it. So it is also started like same only. Jews started coming from some other places, and they started settling themselves in Jerusalem and other Palestine area. In the first point, you have to remember this. Now, what has happened in 1917? A Balfour Declaration was signed. In 19, the second point of this Israel-Palestine conflict, that first point clear. Second point, in 1917, there was a declaration called Balfour Declaration. Who was this Balfour Declaration? It is a statement by British Secretary. You know that in 1970, British was very powerful, Britain. So State Secretary of British has given a statement, and that statement is called to be Balfour Statement, or we call it as a Balfour Declaration. What was this declaration is all about? In this first time, British, you can say a nation British, started supporting to form a new Jewish state. Okay, Palestine तो पहले से था, but एक नया Jewish state form करने की बात हो गई, और वही नया Jewish state क्या है? इजराइल है. So एक new Jewish state formation. तो first time Jewish population was recognized. जो illegal migrants थे, you can say, और जो कि refugees थे और other immigrants settle हुए थे. So British first time started recognized as a separate Jewish state. So British first time put this demand, and we call it as a Balfour Declaration. So in 1970, first time a declaration was passed, and Jewish state, that is Israel, was came into the recognition nation. Now what has happened since this state was recognized, but it is not formally recognized at that time also, but it was a proposal was put. So this lead tension between Israel or the population of Jewish and Islamic population. So tension got increased. Once this got increased, British left those areas. British पहले कंट्रोल कर रहा था, बता रहा था कि डिक्लेरेशन होगा, हम इजराइल को नया स्टेट बनाएंगे. जैसे ही टेंशन ज्यादा बढ़ गया, and it is a story of 1947-48. So British left that area. British ने कहा कि ठीक है, अब ये UN जाने, क्योंकि हमने यूनाइटेड नेशन को फॉर्म कर दिया, अब ये यूएन का काम है वो देख ले क्या करना है इजराइल और फिलिस्तीन का. ठीक है, तो शुरू में ब्रिटिश ने पहले तो एक कहा कि नहीं एक ज्यूस स्टेट होगा, सब कुछ होगा. सो इनिशियली ब्रिटिश वाज डायरेक्टिंग दैट, बट वंस द टेंशन गॉट इंक्रीज और समथिंग लाइक दैट, दे लेफ्ट ऑन द यूएन टू रिजॉल्व दिस कॉन्फ्लिक्ट. सो व्हाट यूएन डिड in you can say proposed a separate Jewish and Arab state in 1947. So in 1947, UN formally proposed a separate Arab and Jewish state and Jewish state. So this was a proposal from UN, and if UN is giving the proposal, it's a formal proposal. Now try to understand the situation. A place where you can say bunch of people moved as a migrant or moved as a you can say illegal migrant, sometimes immigrant. Those moved there to settle themselves, and in next 30-40 years they start demanding a new state, that is Jewish state. So that's how Israel was formed, and first time UN proposed this. Okay, and this finally lead to, after UN proposal, they have united themselves, and this make them confident. अब भाई पहले ब्रिटेन ने तो रिकॉग्नाइज कर ही लिया था, यूएन ने भी उनको रिकॉग्नाइज कर गया. इससे क्या हुआ, 1947 में जब उनको रिकॉग्निशन मिल गया और यूएन का कहना हो गया कि अरब स्टेट और ज्यूइश स्टेट अलग अलग बनाया जाए. सो इन 1948 Israel got into war. In 1948 Israel started war with, so this was the first Israel Palestine or Israel Arab war. तो पहली बार ये जो वॉर जो आप अभी 2023 में देख रहे हैं, the first time it got started, there was an internal tension, but first time full-fledged war. Now I'm writing Israel, I'm not writing Jewish state, because after UN proposal, Israel came into effect. So it's now Israel versus Arab war. Okay, so once Israel versus Arab war, it started in 1947. Just for your reference, I have given you 3 timelines. 1917 1917 में ब्रिटिश के स्टेट सेक्रेटरी ने प्रपोज किया that there should be a Jewish state. The first point is this. If this proposal was almost accepted by UN and formal invitation for Arab and Jewish state was given in 1947. 1948 Israel-Arab war started. So this 3 point, let's start let's move forward in the story. So you know that
Sir, excuse me.
yes,
Sir, is there any Jewish involvement in this Israel-Arab war?
yes, the Israel means Jewish state, the people of Jewish only was fighting for the Israel, right? Who were Jewish? When I am saying Jewish state, it is Israel only, right? When I am saying Arab, separate Arab state, it is Palestine only. So if your question was, was there any involvement of Jewish people? Yes, it was. It was their involvement only. Okay. So 1948 war started, and in 1949 there was a line drawn. जो आप लोग again you might be seen, you might have seen in different social media sites. आपने कई जगह देखा होगा 1949 में how Israel was and now how Israel is. So this was only compared from this map only. So a map was drawn, you can say mediation was broken, mediation हुआ उन लोगों में मध्यस्थता किया गया after war, and एक line बनाया गया which we call armistice line. So ये लाइन ड्रॉ किया गया और इस लाइन के हिसाब से ज्यूइश स्टेट और अरब स्टेट यानी इजराइल और फलस्तीन के बाउंड्री को डिसाइड कर दिया गया बाय दिस स्टेट, ओके, इन 1949. And from 1949 till date, you can say 2023, Israel slowly started increasing their area. They have not agreed with all this armistice line and all. Israel slowly started increasing their area, started capturing through different, sometime internal war, sometime it a full-fledged war or something like that. Israel has captured majority portion of this Palestine. Okay, so the first, so 1948. First Israel-Arab war, and in that it was that in 1948, just to solve those war, a line was drawn at that time by UN and all, and then at that line the boundary was defined for Israel and Palestine. So that's important. Now obviously Israel was growing day by day. They have military power. I hope you might have heard all this time that their security agency, that is Mossad, is one of the most powerful agency or intelligence agency in the world. You might have heard that in Israel it is a practice that all children till 18 years of age will get a military training. You might have heard in the news that all the Israeli who are settled in different places of the world now returning to their country, and you might have seen that video. There is a viral video in which defense minister is distributing the rifle and all to the people. They know how to fire that means, but everyone have that defense training. In India everyone talk about Kashmir and all, but we do not have such type of mindset. If you say that yes, go to the war, you will say no, meri mother bimar hai. So that's why everyone want that Bhagat Singh should be born, but in my neighbor, not in my house. Okay, so everyone want that. That's why no politicians send their children to the army. Okay, so that's just to make something basics. But yes, so after 1948, there was again a full-fledged war in 1967. It is called a Six-Day War. It is a Six-Day War, and in this, Israel has captured majority portion of Arab nation, or you can say Palestine. The name of those places which have been captured by the Israel was Golden Heights, West Bank. I hope just now I have explained to you what is West Bank. So West Bank. So this was a place that was captured by the Israel. So you try to understand the point. By armistice line, the boundary was drawn, but Israel is not going to keep quiet because they have huge military training and all. So they will try to invade on Palestine or Arab areas, and they will try to take control of those areas. So 1967 Six-Day War was one of those states. So Golden Heights, West Bank, and then East Jerusalem. East Jerusalem, Sinai Peninsula. Sometime UPSC asked this question that in 1967, which area was captured by the, so that's why I'm writing it down. Sinai Peninsula and Gaza Strip. So this was those areas which was not under control of Israel, but in 1967, Six-Day War, Israel took control over all these areas. This was a story of 1960. And when this 1967 war was there, at that time also there was a, you can say, year of depression or you can say recession in 1970. होता क्या है, जैसे ही इस तरह कुछ होता है तो they increase the oil prices, क्योंकि अरब नेशन के पास क्या है, एक चीज कंट्रोल में. I hope you might have seen that video in G20 video which I have made. In the video of G20, I have explained you that how G20 came into effect. It was also due to oil prices only. When oil prices was increased, this nation, that is USA and all, came together to solve that crisis. So here also in 1970, once this Arab nations means they lost, and these are the places, they increased the oil prices, and there was a huge recession at that time. So it is expected that this time also it is going to the same, because war has no end. Both the time from both the sides, innocent civilians are died. So again, an important point. So I have talked about 1970, I have talked about 1947, and I have talked about 1948 and then 1967. So these are the major timeline I have talked about. And by 1967, Israel had gained control of the most of the area of Palestine, including Gaza Strip. Now what will happen? अगर आप किसी के घर में जाओगे, उसको इस तरह से सताओगे, obviously they will try to counter that. And that counter was formation of Hamas. In 1980, Hamas come into effect. Hamas is the same, you can say, militant organization, terrorist organization. So these were the violent group and Islamic violent group, we can say. Islamic violent group. So Hamas is the Islamic violent group or terrorist or a militant organization which has been formed by the Arab population and all. Like some people in this Hamas was from Egypt, some from Palestine, some from other Arab nations. So majority of these are Islamic population, because for the terrorists there is no country. We cannot say that terrorists are from this country or that country. Those countries who are protecting them, we blame them, but terrorist has no religion, no country. I hope you have read the basics. जो आतंकवादी होते हैं उनका कोई धर्म नहीं होता, उनका कोई पहचान नहीं होता. So that's why I'm saying that Hamas was a group of Islamic militant. So that's I'm only defining. I'm not saying that they are from Saudi Arabia or they are from Egypt or they are from Palestine. Because see the condition right now, innocent Palestinians are dying, and it is due to action of Hamas. Right. So if they are population of Hamas, why they will try to think that my population, but they are just taking revenge. Okay. The head of this is Hamas Dawas. We call him Dayas, Dawas, different type of word is written for them. It is said that he has lost his 7-month-old daughter and wife also. And after that only he formed this organization Hamas. And the person right now, as it is, there is some saying in the newspaper and all, कि उसके पास अभी एक आंख नहीं है, एक पैर नहीं है, और वो व्हील चेयर पे है, और उसने उसके बावजूद इजराइल के ऊपर सबसे तगड़ा अटैक किया है. ठीक है. तो दिस पर्सन मीन्स इसकी लाइफ ऐसी हुई है ना कि इसने अपने वाइफ को मरते देखा, अपने बेटे को मरते देखा. सो ही इज टेकिंग रिवेंज. ओके. So that's a formation of Hamas. So again, the story we have heard, we have learned that how Israel captured majority portion of the Palestine. We have learned that how Islamic terrorist organization has been formed, which is taking revenge from Israel or killing Jewish people. Okay, so that's how what we have learned. So this is the story of 1987. Now what has happened? Since Israel was getting powerful and powerful, here so many organizations like Hamas, one more organization we call Hezbollah. It is organization that is operating from Hamas is operating from Gaza, and Hezbollah is operating from Lebanon. One more Islamic nation you can say, Lebanon. So Hezbollah is operating from Lebanon. So these started getting means powerful, and they started attacking Israel. So all this you can say compelled both to sign an agreement which we called Oslo Accord. Again, an important point. because it is the accord which you might have heard in the news that Palestine is saying every day that Israel had violated Oslo Accord. So what has happened? Israel was powerful, it is clear cut. Slowly, militant organizations start, you can say, getting active, and even Palestine started making some Israel started getting on Israel and all. So all this means force them to go for Oslo Accord. Okay, you can say that एक मध्यस्थता हुआ कि war किसी चीज का solution नहीं है. So many country might have involved like Saudi Arabia, Iran and all, and they thought that कि हम इजराइल को कंट्रोल करेंगे because अब तक तो इजराइल ने सब कुछ कंट्रोल कर ही लिया था. So they came to agreement which we call as a Oslo Accord. अब Oslo Accord में क्या हुआ? Israel agreed that I will grant right to Palestine, again the same two place, Gaza Strip and West Bank. तो ये दो एरियाज पे जो है हम फिलिस्तीन को जो है कहीं ना कहीं ऑटोनॉमी हम ग्रांट कर देंगे, अथॉरिटी हम ग्रांट कर देंगे. So after all these war, after all these agreement, Israel and Palestine came into conclusion that Gaza Strip and West Bank will be in control of Palestine only. After this agreement was done in 1993, and there was no tension till 2005. It was going very good. Everything was right. In 2005, Israel had showed a positive, you can say, intention and withdraw all army and people from Gaza Strip. So Israel, till 2005, Israel showed a good spirit, you can say like that. Or Israel has, you can say, means followed Oslo Accord. It was going well and all. There was a smaller event like attacking the terrorist activity and all. So that was going on. Apart from these, no major tension between these two, Israel and Palestine. So this Oslo Accord was working well for them. Okay. Now what has happened? Slowly and slowly, this terrorist organization, as you know that, जब हम कश्मीर की बात करते हैं तो एक कहा जाता है ना कि दोनों तरफ सरहद के ऐसे लोग बैठे हैं जो शांति नहीं चाहते हैं. कई बार हमारे लीडर्स या पॉलिटिकल पार्टी जो होती है वो शांति का पैगाम भी लेके जाते हैं, बट दोनों तरफ ऐसे लोग होते हैं. इफ यू रिमेंबर दैट इन इनिशियल बिकमिंग प्राइम मिनिस्टर, प्रधानमंत्री मोदी हैड विजिटेड इन नवाज शरीफ daughter's you can I don't remember, it was birthday or marriage, something like that. So he had personally visited there. So that person wanted a peace between India and Pakistan, but what we got in return. So it is similarly situation here is also similar. This terrorist organization and some extremist people from Israel side also, both do not want peace between Israel and Palestine. So there was a little bit of exchange of word and war. Finally, in 2023, there was a full-fledged plan, and Hamas attacked on Israel. Hamas attacked on Israel. It is said that Hamas attacked on Israel and killing almost 1,200 people, that is Israel civilian, 1,200 people, and more than 150 people are still in their capture. So they have captured 150 Israeli, and they are saying that we will only free them if Israel is stop their war. Now the point is that there are some critics which say that these are the situation which is created by Israel only. Israel जानबूझ के ऐसा करता है. Israel को पता है मेरे 10,000-1200 ऐसे लोग मरेंगे, but will capture few more areas. So ये होता चला आ रहा है 1949 से, little bit of event and Israel capture more area from the Palestine. So some people blame this also. I'm not claiming this in the class, but I'm just explaining you what other critics say about this. But right now, this war is going on from last 7 days. Okay, so many innocents are killed. War is not a solution of anything. So that's what the story of Israel and Palestine, which started with Balfour Declaration in 1917. Why both the countries are taking it as an issue of prestige? Simple is the place Jerusalem. Okay, whatever the Christian nation they started, like right now you can see that USA, UK, Ukraine, all these nations are supporting immediately with the Israel. They are means line up with the Israel. Whereas Saudi Arabia, Iran, Lebanon, these are lining with the, you can say, Palestine. So this is also the major region because they are supported by their groups. Or in this the group is the group is formed on the basis of the place that is Jerusalem, and which is important for both Christian and Muslim. So this is the story of Israel and Palestine. Okay, just to brief you, 1917 Balfour Declaration. All this detail will be given you in the form of PDF. Balfour Declaration. First time British said that there should be a formation of Jewish state. Then in 1947, UN proposed Arab and Jewish state in those areas. It was formal proposal from United Nations. 1948, war between Israel and Arab. 1949, a line was drawn which we call armistice line. A line was drawn, armistice line was drawn, and area was defined for Palestine and you can say Israel. Then in 1967, a full-fledged 6-day war broke out between Israel and Palestine. And majority of area of Palestine was captured by Israel in 1967. Then there was a peace in 1993 when Oslo Accord was formed. Peace was there, but there was a little bit of event of those terrorist organizations and all. Okay. In 2005, even Israel withdraws its civilian populations from Gaza, so that Gaza and West Bank control was given to Palestine. Okay. But in 2023, again, a major war is between Israel and Palestine. So this is a story in, you can summarize this story. Now, major point which we can conclude is, what would be impact of this war? क्या होगा इससे? जो ये war हो रहा है, इसके पूरा वर्ल्ड पे क्या इम्पैक्ट होगा? हमने इजराइल फिलिस्तीन की स्टोरी समझ ली, हमने समझ लिया है कब कब कौन कौन से इवेंट हुए थे, ओस्लो एग्रीमेंट क्या है, बाल्फोर डिक्लेरेशन क्या है उसका, लेकिन अब इम्पैक्ट क्या होगा? आपको पता है राइट नाउ 2 मेजर वॉर इज गोइंग ऑन. वन इज रशिया यूक्रेन, वो लोग भी अभी तक खत्म ही नहीं हुआ, लाइफ लॉन्ग वॉर है वो. एंड सेकेंड वन इज इजराइल एंड फिलिस्तीन, ये भी लगभग 6-7 दिन से चल रहा है. So what are the things that is going to be impacted? The first and foremost thing is going to be impacted is global shipping. What is this mean? जब हम कोई सामान इंटरनेशनली भेजते हैं तो we give shipping charges. So many airport and that is sea route will not work because of the war and all. So it will be, the shipping charge will be higher and higher. So that is global shipping will increase and it will increase the cost of various products which is shipped globally. तो कई सारे प्रोडक्ट का भी कॉस्ट इंक्रीज कर देगा. सेकेंड पॉइंट विच इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, ऑयल प्राइसेस. यू नो दैट it is the war, not only war between Israel and Palestine, it is war between Arab nation and all those Christian nation as well. We can say biopolarity. So next point I can write here is that is global biopolarity. Some will support Israel, some will support Palestine. So even if you see on the social media also, some social media will show you the suffering of Palestine and they will criticize Israel. And if you see the some social media, they will criticize they will criticize Palestine and show the suffering of Israel. The basically point is that both are wrong. If innocent civilians are killing, they both are wrong. Then it is going to impact global economy as well. It is going to impact on global economy as well. As due to all this and problem and even Russia Ukraine all this together will cause means rise in prices and all, that is global economy. If we talk about it is will call regional instability, because you see that it is not the only Israel or Palestine, it is Lebanon, Egypt and all other that border state is going to be affected by this. So again an important impact of all these. Okay, if we talk about impact on India is also going to be impacted by all these factors which I have written here. Apart from that, more than 18,000 people of India is residing in Israel for different purposes, some for business and some for studies. So these 18,000 people, their businesses is going to be hampered and all. And apart from that, just for a prelim point of view, Operation Ajay is launched to rescue Indian people from Israel or those of that the person living in those areas. So India is also going to be impacted by all these. Okay, so that's the important current affair regarding Israel and Palestine war. So just have a visual look what I have explained. You can see it is a map which I have already drawn a rough map. You can see that Israel, it is right now the map. You can the map which just a second. Yes. Yes, that because China is supporting, because Russia is supporting that is Palestine. So obviously.
Sir, excuse me.
That is it. Yes.
Sir, do you think that if Gaza Strip never be captured by the Israel from Arab, then there will be no war presently?
So the point which you are saying that it is not so simple. So will you think that Pakistan will return poke to India, or whatever Pakistan is saying that it is Indian occupied Kashmir? Do you think that India will return that portion to Pakistan? Is it possible like that?
Yes, sir.
It is not possible. Na? We can imagine, yeah, sir, ye ho jaye. So we'll also say that it should be peace, but it's not possible. Your statement is something we can say ideal, but ideal you might have read in the science that no experiment will give you ideal result. Okay, so that's how. Okay, coming to the that map portion which I was showed in the beginning, it was a, you can say, initial map. Now I'll show you what is the condition and how this Israel and all. Okay, so see this map. Okay, if you see the first map here, just look at the first map, left side of this map I am talking. I'm just highlighting that which I am talking. This map I am talking of. See, the majority of the green portion, I hope you can see on the screen, majority of the green portion was the area that is occupied by the Palestine. It started in 1946. Slowly see how Israel started taking control. Only this portion was of Israel. Okay, it again, and this was complete portion was Palestine. Before that, UN accord and dividing these two states, complete state was of Palestine, complete. Okay, slowly this portion was given to the Israel by armistice line and all. Okay, now see what has happened. This complete white line, this complete white line is of Israel. Only this portion, which is West Bank, and this smaller portion, which is Gaza Strip, is now under Palestine. Now see this, even this West Bank portion also, you can see dotted line. Okay, so even West Bank also somewhat control was taken by Israel. Even Gaza Strip, the portion area of Gaza Strip which was under control of Palestine, that was reduced. So these three maps explain the condition why Palestine are attacking, or why Hamas is formed, or why now Palestine is not you can say that attacking on Israel. So first map, complete green, so Palestine. Second map, a smaller portion was given to the Israel by that UN armistice line and all. Then third map, it shows that Israel started taking control of Palestine by smaller war and all. And the last map, the third map, is showing that Israel has hardly some portion of West Bank and some portion of Gaza Strip. Now how Israel has did this, it is a matter of research. How they built a military power, how they adopt that policy that every citizen should be trained militarily. So these are the major points which you can read by your. So this is the important point in this. Okay, now just the basics. Who is Hamas? Hamas is the largest Palestinian militant Islamist group and a major political party in Gaza Strip, governing over the million Palestinian region. Designated as a terrorist group by various countries, including Israel, US, UA, and UK. कैसे फॉर्मेशन हुआ था? जैसा मैंने आपको बताया, it was formed after 1918. First Palestinian against Israel occupation. Okay, emerged from the Palestinian Muslim Brotherhood, which was previously pursued as a non-confrontational strategy. So this you can read by yourself that how Hamas was formed. Now the question, what are the main problem between Israel and Palestine, which I've already discussed? What should happen to the Palestinian refugees which are living in those areas of Israel? I hope you have heard in the news that Gaza Strip, light and all, everything was disconnected by Israel, because this is control of Israel only. The area that got supply from Israel only, So although this Gaza Strip and West Bank is in control of Palestine, but almost it is indirectly controlled by the Israel, by its army, and you can say that is intelligence bureau and all. Okay, so that's again whether Jewish settlement in the occupied West Bank should stay or remove. जो अभी भी Jewish settlement वहां पे है जो 2005 में हटाया गया था. और कई बार क्या होता है, ऑफिशियली भी से as Oslo agreement we read, officially it is said that the settlement of Jews has been removed from the Gaza. But if you go somewhat deeper in there, you will see that no, the settlement is still there. They are controlled by the army and all. So that's the case. Moving to the next. Okay, impact, which I have already discussed, global shipping, oil prices and all, everything is discussed. So just go through the same, which I have already discussed. Okay, Operation Ajay, just important for prelims point of view. I'll give you task here also. Just check when Russia-Ukraine war was there, what was the name of that operation which was launched by India to rescue people from Russia and Ukraine. तो उसका नाम आप अपने ऐसे सर्च करेंगे गूगल पे और अपने मतलब नोटबुक में नोट डाउन करेंगे. ऑपरेशन अजय जो है वो किसका है, इजराइल से जो बचाया जा रहा है लोगों को. बट जो रशिया यूक्रेन वॉर हुआ था वहां से बचाने के लिए कौन सा ऑपरेशन लॉन्च किया था, तो गो एंड चेक बाय योरसेल्फ. ओके, सो दैट्स द इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट ऑफ दिस. सेकंड इज अबाउट CTBT. Okay, just a second. Okay, so next topic which we are going to study is CTBT. Okay, again an important topic. Just why it is in news I'll explain, because you might have read this NCERT as well. There is a chapter in NCERT which deal with the CTBT. Why it is important, just let me explain you the basics, then I'll go to this slide. Okay, Russia has planned to withdraw from CTBT. रशिया जो है वो प्लान कर रहा है अपने आप को हटाने का, planning to withdraw. What is CTBT is all about? It is a treaty, you can say, which is proposed by the, you can say, developed nation in the UN, on which you signed on a treaty or you ratified a treaty, and after that you will not do any type of nuclear weapon. जो है आप किसी भी तरह का न्यूक्लियर वेपन का एक्सपेरिमेंट नहीं करेंगे. एंड सो सिंपली है कि आप कोई एटम बम नहीं बनाएंगे या न्यूक्लियर वेपन से कोई भी जो बम बनता हो या ऐसा कुछ भी वो आप नहीं करेंगे. यस, you can use nuclear energy for the betterment of like electricity and all that you can use, but that also you can use only if you have a permission or if you have a permission from the CTBT and all. India has not signed this treaty. Let me explain you. Russia has signed, but Russia is planning to withdraw, but India has not signed this treaty. I hope you might have read a topic that why India is still not member of UN. You hope that United Nations have permanent member and temporary member. So there are, you can say, only 5 permanent member which have veto power, and rest other are a non-permanent member, you can say. So India is not part of this permanent member. There are so many demands that India should be part of permanent member. One of the reason, I'm not saying all, it is the only reason. One of the reason that why India is not becoming the permanent member of the group is this CTBT. CTBT is one of the reason why India is, because India has not signed this treaty. So it is why, that is why India is not becoming a permanent member. Now what? If you sign this CTBT, you will have a permission to group, nuclear supplier group, we call it NSG. Nuclear supplier group, you can be the member of this group who can supply you the energy and all for the nuclear energy for the that is electricity and all. You know that nuclear energy has also very good for the electricity and all. You know, coal and all, it is getting depleted. So nuclear energy is the other thing that can be the next to be the generation of electricity. Nuclear energy, when I say it, is uranium and thorium. These are the 2 elements which is used to make electricity. So since India has not signed this CTBT, so that's why we are not this member of NSG, nuclear supplier group as well. Although there was a deal between India and USA that we call nuke deal or 1-2-3 deal. It was done in the time of Manmohan Singh government, and USA is supplying, or you can say USA agreed to supply us nuclear for the purpose of generation of electricity. So since USA is a member or permanent member of UN, so he can do anything. USA can do anything. No stoppage for him. So USA can do anything, but India is not member of energy, or India has not signed CTBT. So this is the story. The major point which today why I'm explaining this topic is that CTBT was signed by almost, there was 178 countries. It was signed by 178 countries of the UN 193 countries. So it was signed by 178 countries, ratified by 178 countries. India is not amongst them, neither Pakistan is amongst them. The reason is obviously in your mind, the reason will be क्या इंडिया ने क्यों नहीं साइन किया है? Because we say that our safety is our paramount. जब ये CTBT का सिग्नेचर हुआ था, चालू जब ये कराया गया था साइन करने के लिए, at that time we were not that much nuclear powerful nation, and we wanted to secure ourselves. Since Pakistan was not signing this treaty, so we also said that we will not sign, because all other majority of nations, that is Russia, UK and all, who are advocating for signing, they have already made their nuclear weapon and they have stock for the nuclear weapon, but we have not made the stock at that time. क्योंकि हमारे पास उसमें स्टॉक था ही नहीं, तो हमने कहा हम नहीं साइन करेंगे अभी, ठीक है, और हम करेंगे भी तो पहले उन सबसे करवा के लाओ, ठीक है, जिन्होंने की पहले नहीं किया, जैसे पाकिस्तान वगैरह, क्योंकि हमारा सिक्योरिटी भी तो हमारा पैरामाउंट है, तो इसी वजह से इंडिया ने साइन नहीं किया. नाउ रशिया, नाउ दिस कैन बी सीन इन द टू सेंस. क्या रशिया कोई नया एटम बम बनाना चाह रहा है, या न्यूक्लियर एनर्जी यूज करके कुछ ऐसा करना चाह रहा है जिससे कि बड़ा चीज यूक्रेन पे करना चाह रहा है? तो दैट कैन बी हाइंडसाइट, वी कैन से that can be predicted, but right now it is in the news because Russia is saying that they are withdrawing support from CTBT. Just a basic full form: Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty. Simple meaning from the full form itself: nuclear test ban. No country will do any type of nuclear test, one who signed on that treaty. Simple meaning is that Russia is considering to withdrawing its certification, so Russia is considering to withdraw. Right now, they have not withdrawn, but it is considering. About Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty, the CTBT prohibits any nuclear weapon test, explosion, or any other nuclear explosion anywhere in the world. Okay, the treaty was opened for signature in 1996. I hope it was a time when India was experimenting in Pokhran and all. So it was signed in 1996. So India was not a signatory. Out of 187 nations, that is at that time there was 187 nation in UN. Right now it is 193. 178 nation has ratifying it. Okay, latest nation to ratify it is Sri Lanka. They have ratified in 2023. India has not yet ratified. Okay, see, there are two things: one is ratification, other is signatory. Ratification simply means that you agree with that. Signatory means you broke a deal. But there are 44 major nuclear nations in the world, and out of these 44 major nuclear nations in the world, many have still left to sign that agreement. So that you can see the name: India, China, Pakistan, North Korea, वो तो पागल शासक है वहाँ पे, Israel, even Iran, Egypt, United States have not ratified it. So that's why it is still not into the effect. If you see the existence of CTBT, जो ये कानून है वो अभी भी इफेक्टिव नहीं है, क्योंकि कई सारे नेशन ने अभी इसको साइन ही नहीं किया है. And one among them is India also. And the reason is very obvious: because China is not signing, because Pakistan is not signing. How can I? Because these are two our neighbors and they can impact us. So that's why we are not signing this. Okay. Over 2000 nuclear tests conducted between 1945 to 1996, and global concern and health environment impact. So these are the reason given that why this treaty has come into effect, that developed nation thought that we should not make any more nuclear weapon, but by 1955 to 1996 they have already made so many. कई सारा उन्होंने already बना दिया और उसके बाद फिर वो ज्ञान देने आए. So that's not how it should be. Okay, which key country have not ratified? You can see by the map. So I've already explained all the country name which have not signed this treaty. Advocacy for test ban. India's stand. India called for nuclear testing as early as 1945. Efforts to limit testing were challenge. National security is a paramount for India. What reason India is giving that why I am not signing? Viewers nuclear weapons as a deterrent against the potential threat, and believe CTBT could compromise security and autonomy by limiting testing capacity. So India is saying that it will minimize, or you can say it will limit our testing capacity. So that's why we are not signing. Nothing major in this current Russia stance. Why Russia is saying that we will not sign on this, so that you can read further. So that's important about CTBT. Now next topic is about money bill. Okay, I hope in the polity, although you have read polity, can say me how many type of bill there in parliament? कितने तरह का बिल होता है? Anyone, आप बताओ कितने तरह का बिल होता है in parliament? How many type of bill in the parliament?
The three.
3 or 4? Anyone else? यार कई सारे लोगों के पॉलिटी हो गए, कोई बता नहीं रहा है. How many? So let's start. One is ordinary bill. Second one is constitutional bill, संवैधानिक. Third one is money bill. And the fourth and last one is finance bill. वित्त विधेयक और धन विधेयक, in Hindi we call it. So there are 4 type of bill. I don't know why you people are not saying this. Because polity has already done in this class. Money bill, if we specific, because today's topic is money bill, it is under Article 110. And if we talk about finance bill, it is under Article 117. So why we are reading it today? Because Supreme Court has set up a committee or 7-judge bench. Supreme Court has set up a 7-judge constitutional bench which will hear about provision of money bill, that what exactly should be under the money bill. Okay, so this is the news today. First we are reading it because it is in the news, but let me explain that what is all about. ऐसे लगेगा पता नहीं क्या है न्यूज में. तो 7-judge bench सेट किया गया है जो कि CGI लेड कर रहे हैं, and they will read about that what should be the under provision of money bill. Now obviously there should be a doubt, confusion होगा, डाउट होगा कि क्या मनी बिल के अंदर आना चाहिए, तभी तो कंस्टिट्यूशनल बेंच बैठा है, अदरवाइज क्यों बैठता, राइट? सो व्हाई इट इज इन द न्यूज? सो लेट्स हैव सम बेसिक्स अबाउट दिस. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल जस्ट लेट मी एक्सप्लेन इन ब्रीफ दैट व्हाट इज दिस बिल, 4 बिल इज ऑल अबाउट. ऑर्डिनरी बिल, कोई भी छोटा मोटा कोई भी, जैसे राइट टू प्राइवेट, ऐसा कुछ भी बिल पास किया गया, ठीक है, इसमें वी कॉल इट ऑर्डिनरी बिल बिकॉज इट नीड्स अ सिंपल मेजोरिटी टू पास. जितने लोग बैठे हैं उसमें 50, अगर मान लो कि 100 लोग बैठे हैं, 51 लोगों ने वोट कर दिया, सिंपल मेजोरिटी से पास हो गया, तो वी कॉल इट एज ऑर्डिनरी बिल, डे टू डे बिल ऑफ गवर्नमेंट. सपोज कोई सिक्योरिटी के तरफ से कोई बिल आया, कुछ भी आया, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज ऑर्डिनरी बिल. कंस्टिट्यूशनल बिल, सिंपल, एनी अमेंडमेंट इन द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. यू नो दैट when original constitution was formed, it has 395 articles, and slowly it got up to 450. So constitutional amendment, there are more than 128th amendment is Women Reservation Bill. So many amendment might not have been passed, so it is not like 100 120 had been done, but number is 100 128, means 128 बार संविधान को बदलने की कोशिश की गई है, राइट? उसमें से कुछ पास नहीं हुए होंगे, तो दैट हैज बीन एक्सक्लूडेड. So around 100 or 101, around that, you can check it, cross check it, please. I am not I mean give me exact number, but it is 128th amendment, that is Women Reservation Bill. So constitutional bill need special majority, that is 2/3 majority to pass. So that is called constitutional bill. Any amendment in the main part of the constitution is called constitutional bill. Now the major 2 bill that is we are going to discuss today. I am erasing this side, because main today we are discussing is money bill and finance bill. I hope you have understood what is ordinary bill, you have understood what is constitutional bill. So let us understood what is money bill and what is finance bill. सुनने में दोनों एक ही तरह का लग रहा है. Money is related to finance and finance is related to money. Okay. So in constitution there is a provision of Article 110 which deal with money bill. Just in a simple word, any type of increase, decrease or amendment in taxes. Suppose कि इतने लाख से ऊपर टैक्स लगेगा, इतने लाख से ऊपर नहीं लगेगा, इतना % टैक्स बढ़ेगा, ये घटेगा, इस तरह का कुछ भी होगा, that will be under money bill. So any type of increase, decrease or something like that will come under money bill. Apart from this, if government is taking money from Consolidated Fund of India, मतलब पैसा जो होता है वो इकट्ठा होता है कंसोलिडेटेड फंड ऑफ इंडिया में, तो वहां से अगर गवर्नमेंट पैसा निकाल रही है तो उस केस में भी गवर्नमेंट को मनी बिल पास करना होता है, बजट के साथ भी ये पास होता है, तो मनी बिल पास करना होता है, सो दैट इज मनी बिल. If you want to read in detail in polity, it will be taught to you for those who are first time attending what is money bill for them. So in Article 110, a complete detail is given about money bill. In simple term, money bill is related to increase, decrease, or amendment in the taxes. If we talk about finance bill, apart from all these, there are so many things that can be done, like suppose appointment of policy, RBI policies, and something monetary policies that government is doing. So that all will come under finance bill, which is not related directly with the increase or decrease of the taxes. So that comes under finance bill. And if we talk about article, it is Article 117. Now, what is difference between money bill and finance bill? In money bill, it is the Lok Sabha which is only powerful, as Rajya Sabha has no say in case of money bill. Suppose कोई money bill introduce हुआ है लोकसभा में और उसके बाद लोकसभा ने उसको पास कर दिया और राज्यसभा के पास भेजा, तो राज्यसभा के पास कोई पावर नहीं है कि उसको वो रिजेक्ट करे. वो मैक्सिमम 14 दिन के लिए जो है होल्ड कर सकता है, दैट इज ओनली फॉर 14 डेज. सो राज्यसभा कैन ओनली होल्ड इट फॉर 14 डेज, नॉट मोर देन दैट. सो ये एक क्राइटेरिया है मनी बिल का. इन केस ऑफ फाइनेंस बिल, लोकसभा एंड राज्यसभा इज, फाइनेंस बिल में भी आप पढ़ेंगे तो कैटेगरी 1 और कैटेगरी 2 में डिवाइड किया गया है इसको. कैटेगरी 1 और कैटेगरी 2 में डिवाइड किया गया है. कैटेगरी 2 इज जस्ट लाइक ऑर्डिनरी बिल ओनली. So detail I'm just giving you, just I'm explaining. So money bill and finance bill category 1 both have a specific feature. First feature is that it can be only introduced in Lok Sabha, point 1. Second point, that both need first prior permission of president. President must prior give permission to introduce this type of bill. And third point is that finance bill and money bill, the major difference is that in finance bill there is a say of Rajya Sabha as well. In case of money bill, no say of Rajya Sabha. Now, what government generally do, since there is a very thin line between these two, finance bill and money bill, कई बार लगता है ये वही है वो यही है, ठीक है, ऐसा लगता है. There is no more black and white line between those. तो गवर्नमेंट क्या करती है, जब उनको ऐसा लगता है कि they have no majority in Rajya Sabha, so they will try to bring finance bill as money bill. What government will do, उनको पता है ये फाइनेंस बिल है, लेकिन गवर्नमेंट को पता है राज्यसभा में हो सकता है स्टक हो जाए, तो वो मनी बिल की तरह उसको ला देगी ताकि राज्यसभा का कोई मतलब ही ना रह जाए. तो राज्यसभा के ऑटोनॉमी को, अथॉरिटी को कम करने की कोशिश की जाती है. इसलिए तो राज्यसभा नहीं फॉर्म हुआ था ना. वी जनरली से दैट इट इज स्टेट हाउस, हाउस ऑफ द स्टेट. So state must have a say if you changing something like money bill and finance bill. So sometime, just to play smart, this money bill, finance bill is bring out as a money bill just to limit the power of Rajya Sabha. Now, when I am saying that, who decide? Who is the person who decide that it will be a finance bill and it will be a money bill? It is the chairman of that house. That is Lok Sabha chairman will decide that it is money bill or finance bill. And the point here is that if one Lok Sabha chairman decided that it is a money bill, it cannot be challenged in any court. किसी भी कोर्ट में इसको चैलेंज नहीं किया जा सकता है. So all these matter will be heard by Supreme Court. They will define correctly that what comes under money bill, what is the power of Lok Sabha chairman in this case. So everything will be decided by the Supreme Court. So this is all about money bill, and that's why it is in the news, because Supreme Court is going to form a 7-judge bench on the same. So that's important. Next topic, just a basic topic, nothing much to discuss in it, about consumer price index. Okay, although for you just a detail is given, you can read it out, but it will be asked in prelims only. So just a point, India has registered 9.9% increase in compared to the previous year. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ, कंज्यूमर प्राइस इंडेक्स क्या शो करता है, जहां हमारी परचेजिंग पावर कैपेसिटी भी घट जाती है और प्राइस में भी इन्फ्लेशन होता है. इंडिया ने 9.9% इंक्रीज देखा है. आइडियल शुड बी 4%, आइडियल 4% होना चाहिए था, ठीक है, और हाईएस्ट शुड बी 6%, बट हम इससे भी ज्यादा चले गए हैं. इट इज अ मैटर ऑफ कंसर्न फॉर अस. जस्ट फॉर द करंट अफेयर पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू इतना ही आपको समझना है. डिटेल और बेसिक्स आपको दिया गया है, सीपीआई है क्या, कैसे कैसे क्या क्या चीजें होती है. सो इट इज फॉर यू, यू कैन रीड इट बाय योरसेल्फ. नेक्स्ट इज how digital India will shape the future of country's cyber landscape. What is Digital India is all about? You people might know, using social media like Facebook, Twitter, using YouTube and all. This comes under digital media. Even using AI also. You know that nowadays, you might be seen that your magazine can be prepared by ChatGPT. ठीक है, तो कई सारे मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन, कई सारे गलत चीजें होने के चांसेस हैं. तो जो एक इंडिया के पास डिजिटल सिक्योरिटी एक्ट था 2000 का, इंडिया ने उसको डिजिटल सिक्योरिटी एक्ट 2000 को जो है अभी 2023 में उसका रिफाइंड वर्जन लाया है. 2023 में इंडिया ने डिजिटल सिक्योरिटी एक्ट जो पुराना था उसको बदला है, जस्ट टू इंश्योर मोर and more digital security. What is said by the concerned minister? Fundamental speech right cannot be violated by any platform, but there is certainly a case that can be made that weaponization of this information is not the same as free speech. I hope everyone have read about Article 19 in polity, that is freedom of speech. It is very clearly that the right is restricted. There should be a legitimate restrictions on freedom of speech. It should not be like अगर मेरा freedom of speech है तो मैं किसी को गाली दे रहा हूँ, मैं किसी के तस्वीर को यूज कर रहा हूँ. So the concerned IT minister has used this statement, and what is this bill is all about? क्या क्या पॉइंट है इस बिल के में, वो मैं आपको एक बार बता देता हूँ. ठीक है, की प्रोविजन है ऑनलाइन सेफ्टी एंड ट्रस्ट. सो मेनी पीपल यूज, यू नो दैट इवन पीपल हेजिटेट टू यूज ऑनलाइन पेमेंट मेथड. व्हाई? बिकॉज ऑफ दिस डिस्ट्रस्ट ओनली दैट मेरा अकाउंट कोई और यूज कर लेगा. ओके, देन गाइडलाइन फॉर न्यू एज टेक्नोलॉजी. नया गाइडलाइन, जो नई टेक्नोलॉजी आ रहा है जैसे कि एआई आ रहा है, इनके लिए गाइडलाइन होना चाहिए. आई होप यू रिमेंबर दैट इन इंडिया देयर वाज अ गाइडलाइन फॉर बिटकॉइन करेंसी एज वेल, बिकॉज ये सब चीजें बड़ा फैसिनेटिंग लगते हैं, बट इट हैज अ यू कैन से डिमेरिट एज वेल. देन बैलेंस बिटवीन एक्सेसिबिलिटी एंड रेगुलेशंस, एंड उसके बाद इस केवाईसी रिक्वायरमेंट जरूरी है. आपको पता होगा, आपने सोशल मीडिया देखा होगा, कई सारे बिना नाम से प्रोफाइल बनाते हैं, तो उनको पकड़ पाना, उनके खिलाफ केस करना मुश्किल है. So overall in this news we are reading that India is going to bring a bill, or India has brought a bill for a stringent policy for digital media, so that one who are using it should also be safe, and one who are just viewing it as a viewer also we should be safe. जो उसको यूज कर रहा है, जो उस पर लिख रहा है, और जो एक उसको देख रहा है, दोनों की सेफ्टी बहुत जरूरी है. And someone is criticizing, critics are saying that it is stopping freedom of speech, but freedom of speech has a limitation which have already been taught in Article 19. संविधान भी कहता है कि आपके जो फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच, जो आपको अभिव्यक्ति की आजादी दी गई है, उसमें कुछ ना कुछ रिस्ट्रिक्शन है, आप उसको ऐसे यूज नहीं कर सकते हैं. इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट यू आर अब्यूजिंग महात्मा गांधी, इट्स नॉट लाइक सो, और यू आर प्रेजिंग नाथुराम गोडसे and you are saying that it is my freedom of speech. So that's the important point. So that's all for current affair. And what we are going to do today, as you know, that we are going to discuss 10 MCQ questions for you. So it is also a part of current affair news. So it will be based on same, or one or two question can be deferred. So how question can be asked, whatever we have covered today. Just to summarize what the important article we have covered today: Israel-Palestine war. Then we have talked about money bill. Then we have talked about CTBT, a nuclear test ban treaty. And then we have talked about digital media, and one about consumer price index, okay, which we have not talked in detail, but I have just showed you that how it is increasing. One more news which I want to give you, just one day before, so we have not covered it today. We will cover it in the next slide, next class, that is next Saturday. That is about hunger index. India ranked 111 in hunger index out of 125 countries. It is very sad state that we are going down and down. And for you people, you must, any type of index which is released by World Bank or Government of India or Reserve Bank, you must read that index in detail. So let's start with the question. Consider the following provision. Okay. Imposition and abolition of any tax, appropriation of money out of consolidated fund of India, regulation of borrowing by the government, imposition of fine, regulation of any tax by local authority. So question is asked that how many provision given above are included under money bill. Just now I have explained you that what is money bill is all about. Imposition and abolition of any tax, yes, I have already said that the tax में कोई बदलाव होगा तो वो money bill होगा. Appropriation of money out of consolidated fund of India, yes, because अगर गवर्नमेंट पैसा निकाल रही है सरकार के खजाने से तो वो मनी बिल के अंदर आएगा. Regulation of borrowing by the government, imposition of fines, regulation of any tax by any local authority. So only three are the right. B option is the correct. Okay. Hence one is correct. regulation of borrowing the government has 3 is correct. So all these 3 are rest are incorrect. Okay. Next, with the reference to place in news, these are the place which is related to Israel and all. You have to match this: Gaza Strip, Fukushima, Kharkiv. I hope people who can be easily match that, which is correct match. Kharkiv is in Ukraine. Rest other, Fukushima is I think in Japan, and Gaza Strip, you know, that in Palestine. So last 2 and 3 is wrongly matched. First one is correctly matched. The only one will be the correct one. Okay, Kharkiv Ukraine, Fukushima in Japan, and Gaza Strip in Israel. See, again, you see Gaza Strip given is Israel, not in Palestine. So that's how Israel is controlling the place. Okay. Next question is: consider the following statement with reference to monetary policy committee. Question is asked over CPI, Consumer Price Index से आपको ये question पूछा गया है. और monetary policy committee क्या होती है? Just for your explanation, ये policy होती है, इसका head जो होता है वो governor of RBI होता है, और उसकी वो पॉलिसी बनाता है किस तरह का इन्फ्लेशन होगा, क्या रेट होगा, रेपो रेट क्या होगा, रिवर्स रेपो रेट क्या होगा, वो सारी चीजें वो बनाता है. उस कमेटी को हम बोलते हैं, और ये एक 6 मेंबर कमेटी होता है, 6 मेंबर कमेटी. तो लेट्स सी द ऑप्शन. The committee fixes the benchmark policy interest rate to control the inflation. Correct. The committee is chaired by the Union Finance Minister. Wrong. Committee is chaired by the RBI Governor. Okay, so wrong. And the Monetary Policy Committee consists of 8 members. It is consists of 6 members. So 3 from the government and 3 from the RBI. Okay. So second and third is the right one. Sorry, second and third is the wrong one. First one is the right one. Question here asked is incorrect. आपको क्वेश्चन में पढ़ना चाहिए. इनकरेक्ट कितने हुए इसमें? 2 इनकरेक्ट हुए, तो ओनली 2. ऑप्शन बी वुड बी द करेक्ट वन. यस. With reference to comprehensive nuclear test ban treaty, just now we have covered this. The CTBT bans nuclear explosion for military purpose only. The United States and Russia have signed and ratified the CTBT. Select the correct answer among these. Okay. So United States and Russia have signed and ratified the CTBT. United States are not, only one is the right one. Okay, so I think some mistake is there in this. Answer is incorrect for that. Okay. Consider the following statement: the CPI based inflation data is compiled by Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. Okay, CPI, the WPI is dominated by the, ये आपको इकोनॉमिक्स में सारी चीजें पढ़ाया जाएगा इस केस में. ठीक है, तो इकोनॉमिक्स में जब आप पढ़ेंगे तो चीजें आएंगे. इसका ओनली वन सही है, फर्स्ट वन. ये सब आप अपने घर में देखेंगे तो आपको पता चलेगा. राइट टू प्राइवेसी इज प्रोटेक्टेड एंड इंटरेस्टिंग पार्ट ऑफ राइट टू लाइफ. ओके, सी राइट टू प्राइवेसी और राइट टू लाइफ क्या है? देखो, भारत के मतलब इन इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन देयर इज आर्टिकल कॉल्ड आर्टिकल 21. इट इज रिलेटेड टू राइट टू लाइफ, जिंदगी जीने का अधिकार. सो जिंदगी जीने का अधिकार क्या यहीं तक सीमित होगा कि मैं मरूं ना? It should not be only like that I should not die. So that's how it is defined. Initially, constitution used to define like that. Right to life means that जिंदगी जीने का अधिकार. But slowly, by so many cases like Maneka Gandhi and all, which you might have read in polity, it got you can say expanded, and there are almost 26, 27 points that is given under right to life, like Swachh Hawa, just means that is pollution-free air, good health. All this comes under right to life only. So right to privacy is also part of right to life. Okay. So right to privacy is protected an intrinsic part of right to life and personal liberty, which is following the Constitution of India correctly and appropriately implies the above statement. Article 14, no. I have just explained it about Article 21. So option C is the correct. Article 22 and freedom guarantee in part 3rd. So जिनको ये थोड़ा सा समझ नहीं आ रहा है, ऐसा लग रहा है पॉलिटी का डेप्थ है आर्टिकल वगैरह, जब पॉलिटी पढ़ेंगे तो आपको समझ आ जाएगा. You can note it down these questions and put a question marks in your sheet, and when you will read polity there, you will easily understand that what is Article 21 is all about, what is fundamental right, from which article, which part to which part fundamental is right is there. Like it is written that part 3rd. So part 1 is all about state and all. Okay, part 2 is all about citizenship, and part 3rd is all about fundamental right. So everything will be explained. So don't worry, don't think that yeah, कुछ समझ ही नहीं आ रहा. Which one of the following countries of Southwest Asia does not open out to the Mediterranean Sea? एक मैप बेस्ड क्वेश्चन है और एक अच्छा क्वेश्चन है. ये कौन सा मेडिटेरियन सी में नहीं होता है? सो इट इज क्वेश्चन इज आस्क्ड हियर दैट आप थोड़ा सा मैप को भी पढ़ो, आपके पास एटलस होना चाहिए. तो ऑप्शन बी इज द करेक्ट वन, जॉर्डन. यू कैन सी इन द मैप. what is consequences of a country becoming the member of nuclear supplier group? NSG के बारे में मैंने आपको बात किया था अभी just, so I have already talked about it. It will have access to the latest and most offensive nuclear. Yes, right. It automatically becomes the member of the treaty on the proliferation. No, NPT नहीं है तो India is not member of this. Okay, so option 2 is correct. Incorrect. Option 1 is the right one. Is in the Indian context, what is the implication of ratifying the additional protocol with the International Atomic Energy IAEA? ये क्या है IAEA? ये वो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है जो ये चेक करता है अगर किसी ने साइन किया है CTBT पे तो he should not use any type of nuclear energy for the nuclear weapon and all. It is the organization who has right to check all this. So ये IAEA है which is related to that. So question here asked is that the civilian nuclear reactor comes under IAEA safeguard. Yes, right one. तो first पहला ही सही हो गया तो आगे पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं है. तो civilian nuclear reactor जो होता है वो IAEA के safeguard के अंदर आता है. It is the duty of IAEA that it should monitor that no country should do nuclear weapon. जो जिसने भी ratify और sign किया उसके ऊपर इसका control हो जाता है. Okay. So that's all. Some of the main question given for your practice. CTBT, regarding CTBT, just read. ये जो CTBT topic है current में तो अभी बस उतना ही समझने को था, but it is important in case of international relations. So there you will read in detail. The next question asked over the money bill. Again, how many type of bill I have explained you. What is money bill is all about? Just read article 110 and article 117. It is a basic questions of polity. So sometimes there are two type of current affair. One directly current affair and other is related to subject. So money bill, CTBT, it is related to subject. So these type of current affair entirely you will understand when you will read that subject. For the time being, you can keep it noted down, and when you will read the subject, try to correlate with that subject. So that's all for today. Just two tasks is given to you. One is that is what was the operation of India when India rescued from Ukraine. Indian people was rescued from Ukraine and Russia, and you can means that's all. And the mains and pre-question is given for you. Any question, anything you want to ask? Okay. Thank you.